A question that keeps coming back. There is a question that keeps appearing in search bars and comment sections. Why quiet people are intimidating. It's an odd question when you think about it. Quiet people don't dominate conversations. They don't impose opinions. They don't seek attention. And yet, they unsettle others. After spending time with ideas from Ichiro Kishimi, Fumitake Koga, Erich Fromm, Carl Jung, and Friedrich Nietzsche, I began to see that this discomfort has very little to do with personality. It has everything to do with morality, obedience, and freedom. Part 1. Why being disliked feels so dangerous. Most people believe that being disliked means they failed socially. They were rude, they were insensitive, they didn't try hard enough. But the courage to be disliked offers a different perspective. Much of our fear is not about harm, it's about losing approval. Approval has quietly become a substitute for safety. From childhood, we learn that being praised feels secure, while being disapproved of feels risky. Over time, this conditioning turns into a life strategy. If I am liked, I am safe. This is why being disliked triggers anxiety far beyond the situation itself. It threatens our social positioning, not our character, our belonging. Part 2. How approval replaces conscience. Here's where things become subtle. When approval becomes central, we stop asking, "What do I believe is right?" and start asking, "What will be accepted?" This shift is almost invisible. People still appear moral, still polite, still socially responsible. But their actions are guided less by conscience and more by anticipated judgment. Nietzsche, in On the Genealogy of Morality, argued that morality often evolves not from truth, but from social forces that reward obedience and punish deviation. In modern life, this plays out quietly. Certain opinions are acceptable. Certain doubts are dangerous. Certain questions are labeled problematic. Morality begins to function as social compliance. Part 3. When morality turns into obedience. Erich Fromm, in The Sane Society, made a disturbing observation. A society can be deeply unhealthy and still reward those who adapt to it. In such societies, obedience looks like virtue. People follow rules not because they believe in them deeply, but because disobedience carries emotional consequences: shame, isolation, exclusion. This is how morality becomes a tool of regulation, not enforced by police, but by silence, discomfort, and withdrawal. And this is precisely why questioning moral norms feels threatening. It exposes how fragile the system actually is. Part 4. Why quiet people are intimidating. Quiet people often violate this system unintentionally. They don't constantly signal agreement. They don't rush to defend themselves. They don't perform moral alignment. They listen. They pause. They choose their words carefully, or not at all. In environments built on mutual validation, this feels destabilizing, because the unspoken rule is, I reassure you, you reassure me. Quiet people often step outside this exchange, not out of arrogance, but out of self-direction. And that absence of reassurance is often interpreted as judgment. Part 5. Escaping freedom through conformity. In Escape from Freedom, Erich Fromm explains why freedom creates anxiety. Freedom removes authorities to blame. It removes scripts to follow. It demands responsibility. Obedience, by contrast, offers comfort. If you follow the rules, align with the group, adopt the approved values, you are rewarded with belonging. This is why many people unconsciously prefer conformity, and why those who don't conform feel unsettling. Quiet people are intimidating because they seem less dependent on approval. They appear freer, and freedom makes others uneasy. Part 6. The crowd and the loss of the self. Carl Jung warned in The Undiscovered Self that modern individuals risk being absorbed by mass thinking. When identity dissolves into the collective, the people become louder, but less reflective, more moral, but less conscious. The crowd amplifies certainty, while weakening responsibility. Quiet individuals resist this absorption, not by fighting the crowd, but by remaining inwardly separate. They do not outsource their values, and that separation alone challenges systems built on conformity. Part 7. Quiet confidence is emotional independence. Quiet confidence is often misunderstood. It is not superiority. It is not indifference. And it is not coldness. It is emotional independence. The ability to be kind without seeking validation, to disagree without hostility, to stand alone without resentment. This kind of confidence doesn't announce itself. It doesn't persuade. It doesn't defend. And because it doesn't perform submission, it is often misread as threat. Part 8. The real courage to be disliked. The courage to be disliked is not about rejecting society. It's about refusing to erase yourself to maintain comfort. It means accepting that not all harmony is healthy, not all morality is sacred, not all approval is worth keeping. This courage doesn't make life easier. It makes life honest, and honesty always has a social cost. Why this matters now. In a world increasingly driven by visibility, agreement, and moral signaling, quiet independence stands out. Not loudly, not dramatically, but unmistakably. Quiet people are intimidating, not because they seek power, but because they remind others of a freedom they have postponed. And that reminder is difficult to ignore.